You were chanting Twilight. I don't know, this feels like a vampire sex dungeon, so I changed, you know? Because I was dressed as a professor, and now I'm dressed as a girl that spent 4 hours on a bus. All right. I don't drive, so I was like, how do I get to Madison? The same way I did as a student on the Van Galder. Anybody else? Okay. It's a bus company. I really like the shirt. I got it at Target. Thank you for chanting. Are you guys Team Edward or Team Jacob?
Team Jacob!
That's the correct, no, Jacob's the correct, I don't want to hear it, okay. What? Oh yeah, for sure. They like dead people, and we like dogs. I mean, okay. No, you know what's interesting is so this is like a pretty well-known youth fiction series, right? Twilight. I, during the pandemic, reread a bunch of youth fiction books with an ex-partner of mine, okay? So during the pandemic, my ex got really sad. You guys remember the pandemic? It was not a joyous experience, and he didn't want to have sex with me anymore. Oh my God, shock and awe. No! What? I need more. What? I know, but he was so nice. He was like, let's replace the behavior. And he read all 7 Harry Potters out loud to me. In the accents. I was like, oh my God, what else can that mouth do, right? He's like, I also know all of the spells. No. This Hufflepuff did not want that. And then we made it to 3 out of 4 of the Hunger Games before I was starving. And I didn't volunteer as tribute for that. I had to finish the series and myself on my own, you know? Maybe we would have gotten to Twilight, you know? Maybe. There's, in the second book of Twilight, there's just like a bunch of chapters where it's just months, and that's it, because like she's so sad because he's gone. When I was 16 years old and I read those books, all I did was sob at those words. It was like February. I was like, oh my God, no! That was my entire pandemic experience. So, well, it's just been a fun throwback. Okay, so you guys remember me from earlier. My name is Rebecca Joey Schwab. My mom hates that I use my real full name on stage because she thinks you guys are gonna steal my identity. Because she thinks everybody wants to be Jewish. All right, just kidding, that's not in, I get it. Yeah, but Rebecca Joey Schwab, right? So like you could find me, you could probably find my dad. He's a divorce attorney, you know, so I'm trying to give him some commission. And she's like, Rebecca, why don't you just use my maiden name, you know? I'm like, well, then I think everybody could rob you. What's your mother's maiden name? You guys want to know my social security number? What are we talking about? I'll tell you the childhood street I grew up on and my dog's name. So yeah, my mom, she doesn't like when I talk about her. I like to say that her name is Rachel. She hates that. It is Rachel. Her name's Rachel. That's 50% of the biblical bitches, if you think about it. Rebecca, Rachel. Where's Leah and Sarah? Do we got a Leah and a Sarah in here? That'd be so cool. You can complete our family. Okay. No, my sister's name's Marissa. They really went off script for that one. And I like to think that I give like mother energy, right? Biblically speaking. And for the men I date, I give their mother's name. I date a lot of boys whose mother's names are Rebecca. I know. I'm starting to think it's not by accident. It's a weird thing to keep happening, but like, okay, I dated a Latino, so his mother's name was Rebecca. And he's like, let me shorten your name, I don't want to call you Rebecca, I'll call you Rebe. But if you're Jewish, Rebbe means rabbi. And he's not circumcised. He's just calling me rabbi. I'm like, I'm not gonna do it for you. I like unkosher meat sometimes. Just kidding, all the time. I like bacon. Shut up, this is Wisconsin. Okay. I know how we drink our Bloody Marys, just with meat. All right. The amount of men I've dated that have been born in Madison, Wisconsin is disproportionate, first of all. Too many. 3? 3 is too many. It might even be 4. 4 is too many for someone from Chicago, Illinois. I'm like, okay, of the men I dated from Madison, they all have Jewish star tattoos. What is that? When I say this joke in Chicago, they're like, oh, that's because they're GDs, they're in a gang. No, these are Jewish boys, they are atheists, okay? That means at the age of 18, they were like, I'm gonna go get a Jewish star on my chest. What? Think about that, Holocaust, come back. Okay, so if you're Jewish, getting a tattoo is like illegal. You're not supposed to modify the body at all, except for get nose jobs. All right. I mean circumcisions. And these boys, they're getting these tattoos. It's kind of like getting a tattoo of black lungs on your chest. And when someone's like, what are those? You're like, this one's for Bubby. She was a smoker. What? We don't need to know how your grandmother died, okay? Don't put it on your chest. Honestly, these boys are just so into remembering. They're into never forgetting. I just wish they'd remember my birthday. Aw, it was February 12th, 21292. I don't think get those numbers on their arm. Okay. I'm allowed to do it. I just a whole presentation about Hebrew. You know I'm Jewish. Okay. That, my voice, this giant Jewish star, what gave it away? Don't answer the question. Okay. No, so I think I attract like Jewish bad boys, right? They have tattoos, but it saves me time. Because my parents is such a number on me. I don't have any tattoos. My first cousins don't have any tattoos. My second cousins don't have any tattoos. So if I know I hook up with a guy with tattoos, we are not related. Or we're fourth cousins and it's fine. It's hard when you're Jewish. When you're 97.6% Ashkenazi, every man I dated is at least my 15th cousin, okay? People are all like, I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. I don't mean for it to happen, and we all are lactose intolerant together. It's beautiful. Can you believe I went to Wisconsin and didn't know I was lactose intolerant? I just thought I had IBS. I did, and also. I still ate that Babcock ice cream though. I didn't let it stop me. I'm stronger. Now I'm not. No, now I get migraines. It's crazy. But back in the day, I couldn't drink alcohol, but I could drink milk. We don't realize how much chocolate milk is better than alcohol until we're adults, okay? I miss it. That's not a joke, it's just a true fact. Like if I get chocolate milk tonight, I will die. All right, okay. So, non-Jewish joke, you ready? You guys ready? Probably because of these idiot ex-boyfriends, I really got into boxing, okay? Yeah, cool, right? Not the kind where I'm actually sparring, but just the kind where I'm hitting a bag, okay? And I always hit the heaviest bag. It's, all the other bags are like 100 pounds, right? Heavy bags. I hit the 160-pound bag because that is the average weight of all of my exes. You gotta know you can take the next one, okay? Luckily I've never been abused physically, but I'd like to abuse them emotionally, you know what I mean? And it's good if you're stronger than them. So I got really into boxing, but I'm a millennial. What? We couldn't tell your Botox is working. Thank you, Madison. I just turned 34 last week, actually. Yeah. So that means millennial. That means I have a printer. And the instructor is always like, why are you here? Put your reason on the bag. And I was like, okay, I paid $69 for this ink. I absolutely will. And I printed out all my exes' faces. But I'm a millennial, so I also always have Law & Order SVU on in the background. Yes. So I cut out their eyes, right? Very Law & Order SVU. And I pasted them on the bag with like tape. I beat them up, and the instructors are like, how is your form getting this good? I'm like, I know, the left hook is like nothing. Like, you can't, right? And they're like, what are you doing? How are you getting this good this fast? And so I showed them the scraps of all three of my idiot ex-boyfriends with the Jewish star tattoos. They didn't see the stars. I had ripped them apart. And they were like, oh my God, we wish we could tell all of our classes to do this. I was like, well, why don't you? And they're like, well, there'd be a bunch of guys beating up eyeless women. And that is Law & Order SVU. I have a tag that everybody hates to this joke where I'm like, it's so cute when I do it, but when they do it, it's domestic abuse. And then everyone gets mad. But it's true. Yeah, it's true. I was just in New York last week, and I'm not recommending it, like, whatever, it's fine. And I spent a whole week with my aunt. So my aunt lives alone, she's 73 and living her best life. She's so deaf, and she doesn't want to do anything about it, okay? She just wants you to yell at her face. It's crazy. And this is my favorite thing about my aunt, and I'm gonna leave you with this. So I hung out with Aunt Sherry. I'm allowed to talk about her on stage. She sounds like this. She's like, you do a really good impression of me. I was like, I know. She said, if I get to the age, I'll do it in her voice. If I get to 90, unplug me. It's always over food that she tells us to kill her. Always over food. And she has 2 sons, so she made the one that loves her less the advance directive because she knows he'll pull the plug, okay? It's so crazy. Yeah, so she's always like, unplug me. And honestly, I get it. You know, nothing good happens after 90. But, okay. She just really doesn't want to end up like her dad who had 10 heart attacks and survived. And I'm like, why? He seems like a cat. He's a legend. I was like, you're just like him. You're so deaf. But yes, as she says, okay, this is not even a joke. I'm leaving you on this. She's newly a grandmother, so she has a grandson. And you know those frames that are like digital and they keep changing photos, like Harry Potter, but it's real. It's always her grandson, Rex. That's a dinosaur's name. And he's always naked. Every time I'm in the room, she's like, hello, Rex! And I'm like, oh my God, it's a naked baby. All right, thank you guys. I'm Rebecca Joey Schwab.